And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals or semi-finales here of the WardiTV Monday number 26. Whew. We are here towards the tail end of the broadcast, and we're here to determine which is the first of these two players to make it to the grand finals. Will it be a Protoss? Will it be a Zerg? We're jumping in. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. Representing Team Falcons, it is Solar. Here we go, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series and who you think will advance on into the finals. Will be our Zerg, will be our Protoss. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck. As of now, we are going to be settling into our initial openers. Game 1 on Ultra Love for the first time here tonight. Ultra Love is going to be a bit of a smaller map of the map, a little bit of a smaller map. Of course, it's one of our standard or more regular ladder maps instead. No Persephone, no Sandworm yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we will get there at some point in this series. Until then, Hatch Gas Pool, standard open out of Solar. Meanwhile, herO going for his own gate expand. Now, for the most part, MaxPax was a little bit more passive in the last game. There was that one game on Sandworm where MaxPax was more aggressive. True. He was more aggressive on Sandworm. But outside of that, we did see some more macro play out of MaxPax throughout the course of Game 1 and in Game 3. Here, herO is a little more chaotic. He's a little more chaotic. He's a little more unpredictable. He's a little more aggressive as well. So we should be seeing a very different dynamic between herO and Solar. If we were to load into maps like Sandworm or like Persephone, I'm sure herO would be very much so in Solar's face. Here on Ultra Love, I'm curious how he does open this up. Now, here he's been very fond of going for 8 gates, 3 base all-ins on Ultra Love. We've seen it a lot on this map. That might be a factor coming into this. It might not be. Keep an eye on herO. Likewise, Solar, he has been going for a lot of all-ins tonight. He's been cutting, droning, and just embracing just pure Ling Hydra production time and time again. But I feel like the map is a big factor playing into that. And again, we'll see how he approaches Ultra Love. For now, third base attempt to be taken is going to be delayed by a second or two. Pylon gets thrown down, delays even further. There's a cancellation, and Solar can finally expand. It was delayed by a couple of seconds. We'll get his base up and running. And this herO does threaten a shade, but doesn't commit. We'll pull away. We'll pull away. Again, just keeping an eye on making sure there's no additional gases, no early tech, no early shenanigans from the Zerg. Likewise, with our Stargate opener, we have our initial unit of choice. Not going to be a Void Ray, going to be an Oracle instead. So something more standard here. Oracle into second to third Oracle, into a third base, into just map control in towards the mid game. It is the go-to build here for ZVP. Sometimes you see players mix it up with a Void Ray or even cut Oracle production. But that is not the case here. Not in Game 1. Not in Game 1. So Oracle does move out. Adepts, they threaten the shade. Threaten Shade to the bases. Shade does commit. Lings are in position. When the Adepts are going to be punished, they get 1, they get 2 drone kills so far. They get a 3rd barely towards the end. Oracles, they do dip in. But alas, 4 drone kills for 2 Adepts. Not the best trade here from herO, as he is cleaned up. Solar, he does defend. Immediately does go for a counterattack, making his way towards the 3rd base. Oracles are out on the map, which means back at home that 3rd base is a bit exposed. But the Lings are left idle, and the warp in is in time. So herO, he's in position, does respond. Solar, he does get into the main though. The wall is open, as to be expected here. The Lings, they flood into the natural, they flood into the main base. Probes are going to be going down. He gets 1 probe so far, he gets 2. Not bad, he gets 2 workers, but only 2. Only 2 workers go down. A nice defense here from herO. He shuts down the Lings, and now it's time to counterattack. Here we go. We have Adepts on the ground. We have Oracles in the sky. We see herO taking up, and do you see what I see? I see no Forge. There is no Forge, not yet out of herO, so this is going to be more aggressive. This almost looks like Glaives, I'll be honest. But herO does enjoy going into Blink all-ins from here. So we'll see. Blink or Glaives, what do you have for us? What do you got? Twilight Council is done. Oracles, they rotate over towards the right-hand side. Lack of Forge tells us there's not really much longevity with whatever herO is planning. He gets one, he gets two workers so far. A little bit distracted. He has yet to start his tech. He has the money for it. But herO is distracted. Does pan back home. There it is. Blink is going for Blink. And it's too late for Glaives. It's too late at this point. Too much time has passed. Blink is the tech of choice. Lings, they come in for a counterattack. They do punish some of these stalkers. He gets one, he gets two. Takes down two stalkers. Nice pickoffs here from Solar. And back at home, Solar, he is going Ling Hydra. He does skip his Roach Horn. So Roach Horn has been skipped, embracing pure Ling Hydra. He saw extra Stalkers warping in. If there were Adepts here, it'd be a tell of something different, but he saw the Stalkers, so he knows. Solar, he is aware. At least for the most part. From here, Solar, he can now embrace Ling Hydra. We can see herO taking up even further. Again, he did have that later +1 and later Forge into Temple Archives, in towards Storm. So herO is taking, just now taking his gases. Again, a bit of a messy kind of transition into the mid-game here from herO. Just because he was hyper-fixated on his Oracle Harass. So that does delay it. Does mean he is delayed. We'll push forward. Threads the expansion. You see how careful herO is being. He doesn't want to overextend it. Gets a Hydra. Gets one Hydra. Pulls away. Oh, going for the Queen. Doesn't quite get it. Gets a Hydra instead. Again, decent pickups. He hasn't lost a Stalker yet. herO will reinforce. Looks out more gateways. Ooh, please add a couple of Stalkers. Not the best trade for herO. He's slowly pushing in, getting another Hydra. See how persistent herO is. How sniping those Hydras. Again, he knows the value that they hold. Likewise, the expansion getting very low. And one more volley. Oh god, doesn't quite get it. Station has baited out. There's still two more behind this. This time he can't quite one-shot those Hydras. Bleeding out too many Stalkers. And throughout all this, yeah, Solar is just going for a counterattack. He doesn't care. Solar, he cuts workers at 61. He does not join up his fourth. Just using it for Larva. And Solar is going for the all-in. And again, we've seen this from Solar, both in Game 2 and in Game 3 against Max. Just pure Ling Hydra. 0 Evo chambers, 0 upgrades. And just busting right into the natural. Does contaminate the Temple Archives. Storm is already done though, unfortunately. But despite that, does get into the mineral line, and here he's out of position. He's completely out of position. Storm comes in, but there's almost nothing here for herO. Nice storms towards the end on those Hydras. And we have another storm coming in. Once again, good storms. But the armies, the numbers here in favor of Solar. Now the warp in is completing though. Can herO hold on? No shot. He shouldn't be able to. Oh, Hightower gets focused down. Not bad. Boys are being pulled. Probes are going to be falling. Here he can afford to lose some workers. Remember, it's Solar who's all in. And GG gets called. herO, he will hold on. He will defend. And Solar, he taps out. Whew. GG. herO, he survives the all in. He perseveres, and herO takes the lead. Very close though. Very close. Very intense. Against Solar, he was completely all in. Was all or nothing for him, but the storms were one too many this time. The storms, they were brutal on the Hydras. They completely shut them down, and Solar, he ran out of steam. Did run out of steam towards the end. GG. GG, well played. herO, he holds, and now we're going to be loading into, once again, one of the Team Liquid map contest maps. Going to be loading into Persephone. Now, Solar, he has gone for an all-in 3 games in a row. This Game 1 against herO, Game 3 against MaxPax, and Game 2 against MaxPax. Here in Persephone, I'm leaning towards that as well. Persephone is a smaller map. Persephone does favor aggression, and I imagine Soul is going to head into a similar direction as well. Oh boy. Let's go. And we'll see if herO can keep up. We'll see if he can survive the aggression of Solar. Here we go. So we're getting into game number 2. At the time of those games, of course, herO, he was playing at his series against Creator. So I don't know if he's aware of Solar's current mantra against Protoss. Just committing to all-ins. We'll find out. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have our new map, I should say, of our new TLMC 20 map, Persephone. We have the South Korean Protoss player leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player from South Korea representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. No Clem MaxX finals today. Yeah, we usually don't get Clem versus MaxX finals. I think we went over it last time, but like I think that's only happened like 3 times this year. I think the meme persists more because of the history between the two players throughout 2024. Like, it happened a lot in 2024, but less so here in 2025. Has been less of a regular occurrence. At least in these open cups. And we'll see again which of these two will make it to those finals. We shall see. So now we have our regular opener out of herO. Likewise, Solar going hatch gas pool. Nothing crazy yet. But again, Solar, he has been all-inning time and time again. So I would not be surprised if he cuts workers at 3 base saturation. I'm referring to like 60 to 66 workers, just cuts worker production, gets a 4th base for larva, and just commits. We'll see. Likewise, welcome to Persephone. There is a healing pad, of course, here on the right-hand side. We have the goal base surrounded by speed zones. In longer games, in more macro games, we could see some of these features come into play. But I'll be honest, I don't really see that happening between herO and Solar. Like, I don't... I would love to, but I don't know if we will. Don't know if we will. So now, oh my god, as we are mixing it up, this is not a standard opener. We have a robo opener instead from herO. Interesting. Now, with a robo opener, we could see herO open up with a disruptor drop. Disruptor drops are very old school, though. I say old school. From a couple of years ago, we don't often see disruptor drop openers nowadays. This could be for early immortal production for a 2-base all-in. This could be for fast prism into prism harass, which is also kind of a weird way to take this. I'm leaning towards either fast bay or fast immortal production. We'll see. The rally tells us prism, though, as we do have a rally across the map. Okay, show us what you got. Show us what you got. Yep, there we go. Prism is on the way. We do have a couple of gateway units massing. I'd say shade across the map. No bay yet. It's going to be robo into delayed Twilight Council. Are we going into delayed Archon drop? So Twilight Council into Temple Archives into Archons? That's what I'm leaning towards. This is a build that players like, I want to say, players like Creator, they do sprinkle, I say they sprinkle in. Mana's very fond of these like more Archon-based plays and Archon-based builds. Does it a little bit differently here. We'll see if we throw down the Temple Archives. Twilight Council is done. So, yes and no. Not Temple Archives, Dark Shrine. So it is going to be Archons, but DTs initially. So really peculiar build here. So delay DTs into eventual Archons as well. Gateways on the way. This feels like a 2-base all-in, not going to lie. This does feel like a 2-base all-in. Let him cook, Bappy. Let him cook. Okay. We'll let him cook. As the third is incredibly late, he's going into charge. It almost feels like herO is freestyling a little bit, not gonna lie. And hey, remember, he can heal up these reps. I don't think he knows though. Don't know if he knows. Does cancel the shade. So just keeping pressure on Solar. Solar does go for a safety Roach Warren, thankfully. Likewise, safety Spore as well. So Solar, he doesn't really know what's going on, but the Spore will help when it comes to detection. At F8, it commits to the shade, but we do have the Prism. Will lift. Spores are finishing. I believe there's no Spore in the main, but there is soon to be a lair. So there's going to be detection. And yeah, we have more gateways. Yep, 2 base all in. So straight up 2 base all in here. It's going to be an 8 gate 2 base all in at a herO. No shot, he expands. Probe does move out. Lings are in position. And DTs, they do morph in. Alas, there is detection. Despite that, the Queens are being held up. Lings, they hit across the map, and DTs are going for the Spore. They can and they will. The Spore is going to get surrounded. Massive pickoff, can go for the expansion. Lings, they do not break through across the map, and DTs are going for the base. And is there detection? The lair is done. Overseer just now morphing in. It's a late Overseer. It is a late Overseer, and it looks like it's not in time. The base, it's going to go down. Massive pickoff. One more swipe, he gets it. And he saves the DTs. Oh no. Takes down the expansion. Solar down to 2 bases. This will impact his economy and his production. This is a big deal. And this 2 base all-in is going to hit like a truck. It's going to hit like an absolute truck, and Solar's going to have a hard time spending his money. Or even making money. Solar's in a bit of trouble here. He does at least have a decent Roach count. As Zelts are amassing. Archon drop coming in. Here he's breaking out. Charge is now revealed. Charge is revealed. Here he rotates. Going for the Queen. Do we have a transfuse? Queen does survive. As herO, he denies more mining time. Solar getting ready for another Ling run by. Alas, back at him, herO, he is secure. And herO does expand. He expands, he's getting to +1. He's somewhat taking up towards a later game. And herO, he doesn't commit. Not yet, at least. Now, I do think herO has enough to break Solar. I'll be honest, like Solar, he has some Roaches. He has Roach speed as well. As DT's dropped in, gets 4 more drones. Again, herO, look at the efficiency here. As herO, he hasn't lost a single Dark Templar or Archon. He's lost 2 Adepts. 2 Adepts and 1 Probe. Like, that's crazy. Like, herO, he's traded so well. And here comes the push. Here comes the move out. We have Archons, we have Immortals. I'll be honest, Solar doesn't have enough to deal with this, but the wall is open. Yeah, the wall is wide open. herO, he just warped in. And back at home, he's vulnerable. Probes are going to be going down. Yeah, the wall is open, but herO, he commits. And can Solar hold on? It's going to be close. Files, they do connect. They connect with the Immortal. Likewise, Mineral Line goes down. Solar, he takes out 21 probes. He secures that herO is all in. He does force you all in. Boys are being pulled into the Archon. Archon is targeted down. And herO, he's running out of steam. He's running out of units. Leaves out the Archon, down to 2 Immortals. Running out of Zelts as well. He needs a warp in. He needs reinforcements, and he doesn't have the economy behind this. Oh my god, the controller. Nice micro. Does control well, but it's not going to be enough, and Solar holds. And if herO had this base mining, he could reinforce, he could warp in Zelts, but he just can't. He doesn't have the money. He's broke. herO, he's broke. He has no economy. Likewise, Solar also had to pull the boys. He also lost 19 drones. Both players with a rough economy. Oh, there's no Spore. No shot. There's no Spore. No Spore in the main. Drop comes in. For a moment, I thought it was an Archon drop, but it's going to be Immortal instead. Now, on the one hand, yes, Solar, his economy is in shambles, but he has 4 hatcheries, so he has Larva, but maybe I spoke too soon. DT looking for damage. No workers. Models that come back in. Nice pickoffs. herO, he is resaturating back at home, but it's going to take a long time for him to really get back into this. As here he's getting damage, but not really killing much. I appreciate how disciplined here has been with this DT. He's not attacking the base. He wants his base to get saturated. He wants drones here to kill them. So he doesn't reveal his DT. He doesn't swipe at the base. Does not swipe. Meanwhile, the third base is getting saturated. DT rolls in. There is detection. And here comes Solar. And back at home, herO, he has a couple of force fields, but he only has 2 immortals. They're racing back home. The immortals are low as well. Okay, DT does go for the expansion. As he does see the army. Nice Ravager. But Solar, he has a massive army here. herO getting caught out. We get some decent force fields. But alas, the prison where it needs to be. Zel's going to be pinned down. And Solar, we're looking to force that ace match. Again, this is a crazy game out of herO, and it always worked beautifully if it wasn't for the Ling Run-By. Ling Run-By was crazy. Ling Run-By did completely shut him down. And the Lings were the MVPs. This time herO, his pants were down. And this time he wasn't ready for it. A rare sight. Let's go. And Solar, he's breaking through. He's breaking through. Shuts down the Zealots. Takes down the Immortal. And GG gets called. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. Whew. GG. GG, well played, Solar. He does tie things up. We are going to that final game. We're going to the ace match. Oh my god. Ling Run-By won the game. Imagine that. Yeah. Did win in the game. Did win in the game. That was the game-winning move for Solar. Again, herO, otherwise he would have been able to reinforce. Remember, herO, he actually couldn't warp in across the map because of those Lings. Because that crippled the economy, he had no minerals, he had no gas, he had no income to actually reinforce his all-in, to reinforce his push. And because of that, herO, he ran out of steam. Otherwise, herO most likely would have killed him, would have won the game then and there. Would have taken the game. And with that, we're now getting into the ace match. And we'll see how this story ends. We'll see if this goes the way of herO or Solar, as we're going to be featuring the 3rd map in the map pool for the first time tonight. So, throughout the course of the broadcast, we've been featuring Sandworm, we've been featuring Persephone, but now for the first time tonight, we're featuring Killer's Mile. This is a very different map. I would say the rush distance by ground is... It is longer on this map, but the bases are more exposed, specifically the 3rd base. The 3rd base is more exposed on Killer's Mile. There's a reason why Bjorn was very fond of this. If you watched the broadcast here on Sunday, you would know that we casted Sparkling Tunic up, and Bjorn was all about Killer's Mile. He was very happy with how aggressive he could be on this map. So we'll see which player does embrace that aggression here. As, again, we've seen both herO and Solar be all about that so far. Interesting map. Hope somebody will heal units here today. Not today. Not today. We go. I'm a herO fan, but I'm glad he lost game 2. Yeah, it's just so we can get a game 3. We can get an ace match, baby. But also game 2 was just really, it was a crazy build. remember, winding back, that was a robo opener into like Prism Harass, into Delayed Dark Shrine, into 8 Gateway, into like an 8 gate charge Immortal all-in with a fake 3rd. That 3rd base was a fake, by the way. It never got saturated, that 3rd Nexus. But it was designed to be a fake out. It was crazy. And remember, in the lead up to it, herO, he killed the 3rd. Remember, he killed the hatchery, killed the expansion. Soul was in a very rough position. As I said before, I'll be honest, like, if that Ling Run-By didn't get in, I think herO wins. I think herO, he breaks through. He breaks through and he overwhelms. But here we go, we're getting into the ace match. It all ends here, it all ends on Killer's Mile. We go. Never saturated the 3rd, I didn't notice. Yeah, that's why I was surprised he got it to begin with, because he was set up for a 2-base all-in, but it was a fake out. And now we're getting into the final game of the series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have our South Green Protoss player, the Red Protoss. being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can bring it back. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, with the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons, tying up the series, forcing the ace match. It is Solar. So strong early game by herO. I mean, it was just a really chaotic build. It was very chaotic, and Solar was having a hard time keeping up with that. What the hell was going on? It was just a very it did feel like an improvised build, to be honest. I don't know if there was any like planning behind it. I'm sure there was maybe a little bit of planning, like by a couple of seconds, but it's crazy. It's crazy. From here, Solar does go for his hatch gas pool, standard opener, forsake the unnatural natural, and welcome one and all to Killer's Mile. This is made by Killer Smile, so not confusing at all, but it is his namesake. And this is a bit of a different map here. Now, the rush distance by ground, the main attack path is very direct. It's a very direct attack path from natural to natural, but unlike some of these other maps, there is a defensive feature here. That is the ramp. The ramp is very similar to the ramp on Neoviolet Square. Sorry, Neoviolet Hold? No, Neoviolet Square. The other one. It's similar to Neoviolet Square, or even, I would say, more similar to Abyssal Reef and King's Cove. There we go. King's Cove and Abyssal Reef. We have a very narrow ramp coming into the natural, so this is a defendable location. But despite that, it makes the natural more defendable. What about the third? The third is very wide open. You can attack from the left, you can attack from the right, from a very wide ramp, or a very wide open choke point here as well. It's not even a choke point, to be honest. So you can just avoid that more narrow ramp and rotate over towards the right hand side instead. And we have seen many a player try to defend and struggle to defend this third, let alone the fourth base as well. So unlike in other maps, there's no high ground advantage, there's no choke point advantage. Like the base is a little bit more open here, more so than on other maps. So we'll see how aggressive our players are going to be. I'm assuming both, to be honest. Again, like Solar, he's been all-inning like 4 games in a row now as well. I mean, to be fair, last game he responded to herO with aggression, but not like he backed off and droned. Not at all. That does threaten the shade. Back at home, Stargate opener out of herO. Stargate opener into Oracle. So this time there's no crazy Robo or Twilight Council DT nonsense. No. Not this time. herO's calming down. I think Solar read the situation really well when he got hit by the DTs. Kind of. I think it was more or less more of a Hail Mary play out of Solar to go for the Ling Run by. Like, I don't think he expected the wall to be open. Like, honestly, if there was a unit there, like, herO probably holds. Like, it was a bit of a gamba, if you will, but worked out really well. Did work out well. Adepts, they do shade in. 1, 2, 3 drones going to be going down. Oh, Spore's not ready. More drones going to be falling. Getting up to 5. Not a bad trade here from herO. Gets 5 workers, 4 2 adepts. We'll pull away. Likewise, Solar, he does go for his own counterattack. Back at home, the third base is a little bit more exposed, but the Oracle should come out in time to defend. Okay, the Oracle's in position. As herO, he goes for the low ground third. Interesting. Okay. As there are 3 points of elevation. There's the high ground on the left. There's this low ground third, and then there's an even lower ground fourth base. Just taking further steps down. Oh, the elevation. Behind this standard follow-up, going for the Forge, going for the Twilight Council into +1 and Blink. This looks a lot more standard. Much more standard. Here is looking for more damage. So far, the Queens are keeping up, both at the natural and the third. Ooh, and speaking of standard, never mind. I assumed it was going to be +1 in Blink, but no, it's going to be +1 in Charge. It's going to be a much more aggressive build here from herO. Gateway Explosions on the way. He's going for a Charge and +1 timing instead. This is going to hit sooner, and this is going to hit quite hard. As he throws down even more gates, he's getting up to 7. 7 gates set up from herO. Did I say 7? Getting up to 8. 8 gateways in total. He pulls out a gas. This is a sign that he's not planning to go for a longer game. He's not going for a longer game. He's going all in. He pulls out a gas in the main. 0 gas income. No gas at the natural either. So 0 gas, purely minerals, purely a charge all in. If he was thinking of a longer game, he'd be mining gas and taking up into, you know, Archons, into Temple Archives. No. 0 gas income. So it's all or nothing for herO. And again, I do favor all-ins here. For whatever reason, I will say, fun fact, Wardi, for this tournament, he removed all the larger maps and he replaced them with the smallest TLMC maps. Like the 3 TLMC maps, he added are more aggressive ones. Persephone, Killer's Mile, and Sandworm. They all do favor aggression, which I appreciate. Meanwhile, nice thing, Rambai does shut down those Stalkers. Stalkers are cleaned up, and Zelts are revealed. The Chargers are revealed back at home. Do we have a Roach Warren? We do not. Ooh, no Roach Warren. You can see there, does cancel the Hydrogen. No, sorry, didn't cancel. Hydrogen to finish. Baneling Nest thrown down instantly. We need Banelings. But again, this is a late Baneling Nest for Solar. He had no idea what was coming until now. Can he hold on? Nice choke point. We spoke about this earlier. Yeah, the choke point does come into play. herO, he went up the ramp. Has to rotate back around. He is delayed. The Baneling Nest is halfway done. Solar, he needs a little bit more time. And the charge lets they collapse in. They're splitting up, going for the Queens, going for the Mineral Line. Queens, they're holding their own, going for the Transfuse. Up! Stasis will not go up. Orca goes down. And drones, they bait out the Stasis, but the Queens are falling. Queens are falling, one after the other. Charge loss, they wreak havoc, and herO, he's done it. He has done it. He breaks the third base, pushing in towards the natural. Unfortunately, Solar, he had no idea what was going on. The base is going to fall. Boys are being pulled. Solar, can he hold with the Hydras? There are Hydras. Nice. Hold position micro. Very nice micro there from Solar. Does hold position. Stasis is going to be going up. Drones are falling. Hydras are dishing out a lot of damage here in the back line. Once again, nice choke point here with the Spore Crawler. Very nice choke point. Solar, he's barely holding on. Meanwhile, reinforcements are still on the way. Can he depower? Oh my god. No, he's so close. Takes down the Oracle. Can he depower? Barely not. Zelts are warping in, but these are slow warp-ins. It's still a very close hold here. A couple more Hydras go down. Expensive losses for Solar. Ooh, the Gateway's finishing. The Gateway's about to finish. The warp-ins are about to be that much faster. And we need the Banelings. He needs them. Once again, just a really nice kind of haphazard like choke point that he made with the Spore, with the Gas Geyser. Banelings are about to morph in, and here he's not targeting them down. And they do crash forward. They collapse on the Zelts, but despite that, it's not enough. Despite that, herO, he still has too much. He breaks the defensive line, takes down all the Hydras. Impressive that Solar defended for as long as he did, but GG gets called, and herO will take the series 2-1. Will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. 3 base all in out of herO, 0 gases, pure Zealot, and it was a bit of a rough execution is what I will say. If you remember, we spoke about that choke point at the ramp, at the natural, which is not what you want to push into. herO, he initially did go for the ramp, which did buy some precious time for Solar to build up more Hydras. Likewise, great choke point as well out of Solar on the right hand side, using that Spore Crawler as well. Very nice hold position micro with his drones. Solar, like, the stars were aligning with what little he had. Like, it was still a really rough defense there, of course, and in the end did not quite work out, but that was maybe like the best case scenario for Solar. Again, remember, he skipped his Roach Warren, and he didn't know Nolan was coming. That's why the Baneling Nest was so late. That's why we only saw Baneling towards the end, and Solar, he held on for as long as he could before eventually breaking. Before eventually he was broken. GG, well played. herO, he will claim the win, and herO is our first finalist. GG. GG, well played. herO, he is going to be our first finalist. And now we are getting ready for our next matchup.